Hello, guys. This is Gunnars Asheshe once again. Um, this is, just it's probably going to be a brief video. This is just me trying to react to all the negativity surrounding Arsenal of late, starting with Fabian Hurtzela, to Alan Pardew, to Mikel Obi, and everyone else who's had one opinion or the other about the Arsenal. Everyone seems to have an opinion about us at the moment, and I think that probably means we're doing something right. Because now only person where they do well then they talk about. Now that the likes of Man United too, they've been doing well recently, won 4 games in a row, drew 1 or 2, won again. We started paying attention to them again, thinking, Carrick ball, when would they, probably suffer a defeat, and that has now happened. So you only get talked about when you're doing something right. So I think it's actually a positive thing that coaches, pundits, rival fans are all talking about the Arsenal at the moment. So that means we're actually doing something right. Fabian Hurtzela, I'm really so disappointed in. I would have said maybe it's age that is, affecting the guy, because the guy is still a young coach. But even Arteta started a bit young, but was never this this negative and this. I don't know. Fabian Hurtzela just comes out and just too many sour grapes when it comes to him, and he seems so petty as well too. He probably throws professionalism out the window when it comes to maybe analyzing all things Arsenal, and sometimes maybe when it comes to other clubs as well, when things are not going his way. Initially, before the game started, he said that Arsenal take too long on restarting the game. Our games have actually maybe witnessed the shortest time whereby the ball is in play. And after the game, he doubled down on that. We thought maybe that was just before the game, just maybe mind games. But after the game, he doubled down on that again, saying, "Oh, Arsenal creates their own set of rules. Raya takes too long. He was on the floor like 3 times in the game." And him also saying he doesn't pray that he will never play like the way Arteta does. Well, those are real sour grapes, and they're actually facts to show that Arsenal actually haven't been the team that have spent the longest, or the goalkeeper that has spent the longest in restarting the game. The goalkeeper that has actually spent the longest is the Manchester United goalkeeper. And surprise, you won't believe it, Raya actually comes in at number 17. Wow, you don't believe it? Me too. I didn't believe that at first until I saw, the fact. You can actually double check on that as well. He's actually 17th on that list. And even when you look at games that have actually taken the longest, or they've actually had ball in play for the shortest period of time, actually Arsenal don't come out tops there. I think it's actually a game that involves, is it Newcastle or so, that takes top prize. Actually Arsenal has maybe like the 3rd on the list, and I think it was the game against, maybe was it Aston Villa at Villa Park. I'm sure probably maybe down to them as well, wasting time. Probably wasn't only us, because that game ended 2-1 in the end. So Fabian Hurtzela saying he doesn't wish he'll ever play like the way Arteta has been playing. But Fabian Hurtzela, you haven't found yourself in this kind of situation. And I hope you remember, in the first leg, Arsenal played beautiful football, and we came out 2-1 victors against your team, and we played very good football on that day. And you have to, depending on the personnel you have, sometimes that's what determines how you tend to approach games. This game we played against you, we all know Gyökeres isn't someone that holds the ball up very well, and we didn't have the likes of Odegaard, who controls the tempo of the game. The likes of Zubimendi and Rice have played too many games, so they're actually a bit tired. So this thing can come up, and when you see that, your players are not firing on all cylinders, you need to be pragmatic. We haven't been pragmatic in the past. 20 seasons past with Wenger teams, we've actually played beautiful football. We won nothing. Even with Arteta, when he came in, we played beautiful football at first. We didn't win anything. But right now, we're trying to, adapt to game states. Whatever the game requires is what we bring. We've actually had 10+ games where we scored 3 or 4 goals in those games, in the Champions League, in the Premier League, against top oppositions. So you cannot come out and say, "Oh, Arsenal actually no, when they play negative football, they play boring football." No, it's the game state. Whatever it requires is what Arteta tries to, adapt his team's game to. So that's what I think has been happening. It's just a bit of sour grapes, and coaches probably and pundits alike not wanting Arsenal to win, because I don't know, for one reason or the other, they just hate the fact that Arsenal are doing well. I don't know why. Maybe he wants to be the first manager, maybe because he sees Arteta is still too young, he doesn't want him to win as a young manager. Or maybe he's jealous of the job Arteta is doing. I do not know. But Ursula, when you start fighting for titles, start fighting for trophies, you can come back and then, talk about Arteta, playing negative football. We'll see how you adapt to such situations when the need arises. Even Ange Postecoglou, that was playing swashbuckling football, all attack football, high press football. When he came to Europa League final last season, when he got the goal, what did he do? They settled back into a low block because they had something to protect. And they saw that it was better for them to defend and then hit Manchester United on the break. And that's what they did. And they actually, got them the victory at the end of the day. No one will come out now and say, oh, Tottenham actually played negative football to win the Europa League. Nobody will ask that question. Who won the Europa League last season? The answer will always be Tottenham. And at the end of the day, when we win trophies this season, the only question that will be asked is who won the trophy, who won the Premier League 25-26 season. And by his grace, and by the efforts of our players and team efforts as a whole, Arsenal will come out tops. The only Arsenal answer that will come out to be Arsenal. So guys, suck up your tears and your bad belly and everything. And if you're anyone that's not excited by watching our games, you can tune into another station. There are so many other stations you can watch. There are so many other teams you can watch. I don't understand. I mentioned the other day that from corner kicks, we've actually had 138 goals scored from corner kicks already this season. Arsenal scored 138 goals. We've not even scored up to half of that in total. We've only scored 16 goals from corners. That means a whole lot of the other teams are also adapting their games to ensure that they take maximum advantage. If you don't want us to score from corner kicks and set pieces, then everyone should come out to play. Let's go toe to toe. I'm sure if we did that, gaps will open up and then we'll be able to score more open play goals. But when gaps don't open up and you sit back, that's when we win corner kicks, because you're sitting in your defense. So we tend to win more corner kicks and free kicks because you want to stop us by any means necessary. And by the time you did that, if we do not adapt our games, then we don't score any goals. Then at the end of the day, you say, oh, Arsenal don't create anything. So it's not our fault that we tend to score a lot of goals from set pieces and corner kicks alike. So everyone should adapt their game style to suit whatever it is they want to achieve. Okay? So these are my 2 cents. So everyone, including Mikel Obi, who's also been saying the same thing, that Arsenal have been playing negative football, they're boring to watch. Tune into, Telemundo or something else, or tune into ZTV, Z-World. Watch something else. Watch the news. Okay? There's so many other interesting things you can watch that are better than watching Arsenal games. So and when it comes to corner kicks, every team does holding and grappling. Everyone does it. It is not a new thing. This isn't something that just started with the Arsenal. Every team does it. Okay? So until a separate set of rules are created, and I'm sure when those rules are created, it's going to cover every team in the Premier League. So guys, please focus on your team. Focus on winning in whatever way you can. And best of luck. These are my 2 cents. Take care, guys.